In a small village deep in the heart of Africa, there lived a beautiful girl named Nia. She was kind, gentle, and loved by everyone. But Nia had a secret. She was in love with a man no one had ever seen. Every night, when the village slept, Nia would sneak into the dense forest. There, by the great river, she met Kofi. He was tall and strong, with eyes that glowed in the dark. His voice was deep like thunder, but soft when he spoke to her. Nia did not know where he came from, but she loved him. "You are the only one who understands me, Kofi," she whispered one night. Kofi smiled. "I will always be here for you, Nia, but you must promise me one thing. Never follow me when I leave." Nia agreed. She did not care who he was or where he went. She only cared that he loved her. But the village elders grew suspicious. Nia was always distracted, always sneaking away. One night, her brother Tunde followed her. When he saw the man she loved, he gasped in horror. Kofi was no man. He was a creature covered in dark fur, with sharp claws and eyes that burned like fire. Tunde ran back to the village and told the elders. "Nia is in danger. She loves a monster." The elders gathered the hunters. They lit their torches and followed Nia into the forest. That night, as she embraced Kofi, she heard the angry voices of her people. "Nia, step away from that beast," Tunde shouted. Kofi's eyes filled with sadness. "You have broken your promise, Nia. Now they will never let us be together." "No, I love you," Nia cried. The hunters raised their spears. Kofi roared, his voice shaking the trees. He turned to run, but the hunters were too fast. Spears flew through the air, piercing his body. Nia screamed as Kofi collapsed by the river. "No, please, stop," she begged, but it was too late. Kofi's glowing eyes dimmed, and his body turned to dust, carried away by the wind. Heartbroken, Nia fell to the ground. The villagers took her back, but she never spoke again. Every night, she sat by the river, waiting, hoping, whispering his name to the wind. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Nia refused to eat or sleep properly. Her once bright eyes lost their spark, and her laughter, which once echoed through the village, was gone. The villagers whispered about her, some pitying her, while others believed she had been cursed by the monster she had loved. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled across the sky, Nia ran away from the village. She returned to the river, her heart aching with sorrow. The rain poured heavily, drenching her as she knelt by the spot where Kofi had died. "Kofi, please come back to me," she sobbed. "I do not care what you are. My love for you will never die." Just then, a gust of wind howled through the trees, and the water in the river swirled unnaturally. Nia's heart pounded as she saw a shadow form in the mist. A familiar voice whispered, "Nia ... She gasped, looking around. "Kofi, is that you?" The shadow took the shape of Kofi, but he was no longer solid. He was a ghostly figure, his glowing eyes filled with sorrow. "I cannot stay, my love. But know this, I never stopped loving you. I will always be by your side, watching over you." Tears streamed down Nia's face. "Take me with you, Kofi. I do not want to live without you." Kofi shook his head. "Your time has not come. Live, Nia. Live for the both of us. Tell our story so that love is never feared again." And with that, Kofi's spirit faded into the wind. Nia stayed by the river until morning, her heart heavy, but her resolve strong. She returned to the village, no longer broken, but determined to honor Kofi's memory. She became a storyteller, sharing their love story so that no one would ever fear love, no matter how different it seemed. Some say on the darkest nights, when the moon hides behind the clouds, you can hear a deep voice calling her name. And if you listen closely, you might hear Nia whisper back, "I still love you, Kofi." And so, the legend of Nia and the monster lives on, a story of love that even death could not break.